2025 is looking to be the year of AI video, and today we have an update on LTX video 0.9.5 featuring start and end frames. What you see on the screen is a quick example of utilizing start and end frames. We have this building where these balloon-like flowers pop out of this building. Really cool. As always, everything you need will be linked in the description below. A few things to highlight. There is a new license that allows you to use your videos for commercial projects. As mentioned, keyframe conditioning. Now, the great thing about this is that you don't have to just use start to end. You can do start, middle, and end. So frame interpolation is definitely a thing that we can do now. They also claim improved quality, high resolution videos, support for longer sequences, fewer visual artifacts, better prompt understanding. Now, one of the strengths of LTX has always been its small model size, therefore allowing us to generate very quickly. It's probably the fastest out there. To get started, it's no different from the current LTX workflows, except you just have to download the new model here. Make sure to put it into your main CompuUI folder, models, checkpoints. For the text encoders, if you've been using it already, you can use the FP16 or FP8, or if this is your first time using it, you can download it here. These will be placed into your clip folders. There's a few workflows here for text to video, image to video, and multi-frame control workflow, which is what we're going to look at in this video. You simply have to drag and drop the workflow into your workspace, and if you are missing any nodes, just go into your manager, click on install missing nodes here, and it should pop up and you just gotta install them. As always, make sure you're on the latest version of CompuUI, so you may as well update that as well. Now I'm going to switch over to a rearranged version. You know me, I like things fairly linear. And as I said earlier, this workflow isn't really too different from the current LTX workflow. I'm sure there'll be some custom workflows to make this a lot better, but we're just going to look at the standard one here. So you have your load checkpoints where you'll load the model. Your clip loader here, we've got our prompt and negative prompt here. LTX add guide nodes, there are two because we're going to do a start and end frame, and you just have to connect positive to positive, negative to negative, VAE latent, and image. Same old stuff. What I would say for now is just leave the default settings until you get familiar with how it's working out. The conditioning you don't really have to change. We have our sampler options here along with our scheduler. Don't really have to change the max shift or base shift. The only thing I would say is if you're just testing, you can go down to 15 or 20 steps, 30 to 50 if you're happy with your results. A sampler is just a typical custom sampler. Recommended CFG is anywhere from 3 to 5, maybe 6. And then we have this node called LTXV crop guides going into the VAE decoder. Now in the original workflow, they have it saving to an animated WebP, but I've changed it to the video combine node, and that allows us to save it via MP4 format, GIF even if we wanted to. So that's the only change I've made. And if you don't have Video Combine, it's under Video Helper Suite. It's a custom node that you'll have to install. And then we have two load image nodes to input our start and end frames. So in this example, I've got this empty vase, and I basically just in-painted some flowers. This LTXV preprocess node, it's basically image compression. If you use between 20 to 40, it kind of dirties up the image because with a clean image, you tend to not get any movement. And when the generation happens, it needs noise, it needs compression to move the pixels around, right? So that's what this is for. And you can set it again between 20 to 40. I have it at 35 and 40 here. For my testing at this point, 768 by 512 with a length of 97, which is about 4 seconds. You can go to like 121 or 5 seconds, yeah, or even longer, and it's taking me on my GPU about 1 minute and 4 seconds. Now I even increased it to 1280 at 736, I think it was, because it doesn't allow 720. Yeah, 736, 1280, and that took roughly 3 minutes and 45 seconds. Definitely a lot faster than 2.1, although the quality isn't equal. but LTX is still a great model, especially for budget GPUs. We have two of these LTX add guide nodes, and they go together. So the first image goes into this node, the second one goes into here. The only other thing to point out is that you'll notice this is at -1. So this will identify that second image as the end frame. And then the one here has a 1, that means the first frame. Now, with that being said, here are the examples that I came up with. This one's just an empty vase with flowers popping out of it. So I basically had the empty vase as the start frame, the flowers as the end frame, and the prompt was actually pretty simple. Colorful flowers popping out of an empty vase. And then for the car, hopefully you can see it, it's got sort of like a rusted metal look, and I wanted it to morph into like a glossy black paint type of car. Of course, the cars are a little bit different. And again, the prompt was very simple. A speeding car's paint job melts from rust to glossy paint. Now, usually with LTX video, you do want to have a very verbose prompt, especially for text to video. But I just found for these particular examples, because they were simple, this was enough to kind of get the idea. They're not masterpieces, I get that, but it's really just to demonstrate how the start and end frame works. Now, if you happen to be new to LTX video, I do have a previous video that I recorded when it first launched. Make sure to check that video out. In the meantime, my friends, until that next video, I'll see you when I see you.